Landon Collins is not going to be a Giant come 4 o'clock Eastern time on Wednesdays. We expect him to sign a 6-year, $84 million deal, which would have blown the whole franchise tag number for safety way out of the water there. What more can you tell us about that deal, Mike?
Yeah, it was at, 11 and change, and the Giants felt that was too rich for their blood for what Landon Collins brings there, and they're more about a safety that can cover ground. They're one of the teams that was in on Eric Weddle, who wound up signing with the Rams. Collins can probably cover a little bit more than a lot of people are giving him credit for, but it's not the strength of his game. But the Redskins obviously feel like this is a guy, another former Alabama guy. They've got plenty of those. Now heading down there to be a cornerstone of their defense. A big Sean Taylor fan growing up, I can tell you that. And so this will be fitting for Collins to now go down and play for Sean Taylor's former team. He is a big voice in the locker room, or has been for the Giants over the last couple of years. So he will likely try to fill that role for the Redskins as well. So in addition to what they're getting on the field, they're potentially getting a locker room leader in Landon Collins, who will be fired up for at least 2 games per year in the coming years.
At least, indeed. Okay, and if you don't have your calculator handy, it's about $14 million average annual value there. Mike G, thanks very much. I'll bring it back here with Charlie Casserly, our Super Bowl winning GM, knows a thing or two about paying players in Washington. This was a team that clearly wanted to upgrade their safety spot. I mean, they traded for Clinton Dix midseason last year, and boy, now they're really paying. They're spending some money on that spot. What do you make of that?
Well, the whole key is what Mike alluded to and what Jalen Ramsey said directly. How are you going to use this guy? This guy, if you want to play him going forward, he's a physical player. He's instinctive going forward. He can cover things in front of him. He can tackle. He'll make plays that way. Leadership, that's going to be a positive. All that's good. Now, is that worth $14 million a year? You got to make that decision. That's your budget. You do what you want with it. But as far as turning and covering, that's his weakness. Teams will target him if you put him in isolated positions to cover over any length of grass. That's going to be the key. How do you use this guy? If you use him in one sense, the box-type guy, hey, the guy will have a big impact. If people spread you out and get this guy isolated and he's got to cover in space, he's going to struggle, especially if you're going to ask him to turn and run deep. That's not his game. So how you use him is critical to this guy's success. And that amount of money, and you look at it, who else could they have gotten? Well, they weren't going to get Mosley for that amount of money because Mosley's that number's just going to keep going up. That Mosley would have a much bigger impact on your team, I think, than a Landon Collins, but it's going to cost you more money.